Yeah, hi friends, my name is Chandan and welcome back to my channel Energy and Environment Education. Friends, this is chapter 2.3 Stream System and this is part B of the chapter. Actually, I have divided the entire chapter into different parts, and part A I have already made video on and I've uploaded on my channel. So you can go to the part A if you have missed it, and all those aspirants who are looking forward to take exam this year in coming years, for them these videos are going to be very helpful friends. This videos free of cost, and you can go through these videos and this will really help you to prepare for your exam in a better way friends. I hope so. And any feedback, if you have any inputs, if you have, you can straight away write me on my email id, on my number. You can also message me if any feedback or inputs if you want to share with me friends. And as for only one request I had earlier also, and for this video also, I'm going to request you, please do subscribe my channel if not yet, because this will help me to motivate me to prepare more such videos in coming days and post for you friends, which may be helpful for you in your examination preparation. And also these videos are not only for the energy manager in the energy auditor exam, is important also for all the engineers who are looking forward to make career in energy field or energy domain, you can say. For them also these videos can be equally helpful friends. So please, anybody who are still pursuing energy, I mean engineering in electrical field or mechanical field, basically, and also all those who are looking forward to shape career or make career or switch career in energy sector, for them also these videos can be really helpful. So I have uploaded number of videos on different chapters. You can go through them on energy this exam friends. So all those who have missed the videos, please go through the videos and please write me your comments and also your valuable inputs or anything as such you can share with me friends. So let's start the video today with this part B, and hopefully this video also going to be helpful for you for your exam preparation friends. So let's start with the content first, friends. For today's video, the content that I have made video on is the steam distribution system, and it's very important because you must understand what is steam all about. That's what those things I have explained you in the last video, part A, what is steam all about and how this steam is going to be useful, and other steam properties also I have explained you in the first part. Now in the second part, part B, I am going to explain you about the steam distribution system, which is equally important, and a lot of questions you can expect from this part of the chapter, and also a lot of numericals you can expect from this part of chapter friends, basically in the exam, for the energy auditor exam or energy manager exam which you are going to take this year in coming years friends. So let's start the video with the steam distribution system friends. Now coming to the steam distribution system friends, the steam distribution system is the essential link between the steam generator and the steam user. These are two important points that you should understand and remember friends: steam generation and steam usage. Now if you want to supply the steam that is generated in an efficient way, then you should have a proper steam distribution system. Therefore we say the steam distribution system is an essential link between the steam generator and the steam user, the point where the steam is generated to the point where it is used. So it is to be supplied in an efficient manner, and where then there it is, the steam generation distribution system is very much important for you to understand friends. Whatever the source, and efficient steam distribution system is essential if the steam of the right quality and pressure is to be supplied. Now when you use the steam, it has to be of a proper quality, and also of pressure drop should not be there while you distribute the steam. So therefore you have to have the better steam distribution system friends, to maintain the pressure from the generation point to the user point in the right quantity. Also the quantity of steam, the quality of steam, and the pressure of the steam, all these things matters friends, and therefore you should have the proper steam distribution system. Installation and maintenance of the system are important issues. Now in order to have a proper steam distribution system at the designing stage, when the steam distribution is laid out, the pipes are laid out, at that time you have to properly design it such that also the installation and maintenance of the steam system are equally important, and the must be considered at the design stage. So the way you install it, the way you maintain it means a lot, and then you can have a better steam distribution system, and with the efficient steam distribution system, you can have better supply of steam at the user point friends. So you can have a better quality of steam, you can have a better pressure, and also right quantity of steam at the user point friends. So steam distribution system is a very essential point, for the steam supplier and the steam user friends. And this is the picture of a steam distribution system where this is the source point where the steam is generated at the boiler, then the steam is distributed at the different points for different areas, inside the plant, and when the steam is utilized in the process, then condensate is recovered, friends. So mainly the steam generation is important, the steam distribution is going on, and then it is utilized at the process end, and then the condensate is recovered and fed back to the field water tank, friends. So these are the important areas that you should understand while when you go for the steam distribution system. The steam generated in the boiler must be conveyed through pipe work to the point where it is heat energy is required. This is the area, the boiler. This is the boiler where the steam is generated, and this is the area where the steam is used inside the plant at different processes, friends. Initially, there will be one or more main pipes or steam mains. So starting only you have one pipe, then it gets distributed at different areas within the plant with the help of different small you can say pipes within the plant, friends. So basically what happens, the steam generated in the boiler must be conveyed through pipe work to the point where its heat energy is required. So steam is generated here and has to be conveyed to the point where the steam will be utilized, friends. The user point, you can say. Initially there will be one or main pipes or steam mains which carry steam from the boiler in the general direction of the steam using plant. Smaller branch pipes can then carry the steam to the individual piece of equipment. So basically what's happening here, from the boiler end, or you can say the area where the steam is generated, from there one pipe goes, you can say this is the main pipe, and then this pipe breaks into different branches and is used in the different processes, or you can say at the different equipment level also within the plant, friends. This is the entire network diagram, and again the condensate is recovered after the use, after the steam is used at the equipment area, or you can say entire process area, friends. So these are the important sections of the entire picture, you can say steam distribution system. So this is very much important for your exam also. You must understand this picture and you must be able to explain this entire steam distribution system and in the exam, friends, if it comes. So now comes the working pressure. Working pressure is very much important, friends. This means how much pressure you should maintain. So first of all, you should understand the key point, the maximum safe working pressure of the boiler. I mean, you should maintain, the pressure that you are maintaining should not exceed the maximum safe working pressure. Like suppose if the 9 kg per centimeter square is required, that is maximum working pressure, you can say. So it should not, boiler should not generate at a pressure of 10 or 12 something. This will be really hazardous, friend. The maximum safe working pressures of the boiler should be kept in mind when you generate the steam. Second thing is the minimum pressure. Now pressure should not be as low also that it is, at least if it is 5 kg per centimeter square of the pressure is required, minimum required, so it should not be 4 or 3 something. So the maximum and the minimum value should be kept in mind while you generate the steam fans, and also when you distribute the steam fans. This means when you generate it and when you distribute it, like suppose when you distribute it and at the user point, at the end point, if the 5 kg per centimeter square is the minimum pressure that should be required for the equipment or for the process. Now if you are supplying at a 4 kg per centimeter square, or is there some, if suppose there's some losses going on inside the pipe, and for that reason only the pressure that is coming into the equipment or the process end is 4 instead of 5, which is minimum value. So in that case the process will be hampered, friends. So you have to keep in mind the maximum safe pressure and a minimum pressure that has to be generated and also to be supplied or distributed, friends. As steam passes through the distribution pipe work, it will be inevitably lose pressure too. I mean, there are different reasons why the steam, pressure is lost. First one is the frictional resistance within the pipe work. Second thing is the condensation within the pipe work. So these are the two, points you should understand. You should remember in exam also they may ask you, why it is important to maintain the pressure or steam pressure, or why it is important uh, to maintain the working pressure is important, also distribution also is important. So those questions can ask in the exam. Also they can ask you, the reasons for the loss of the pressure inside the pipe, then you can answer these 2 points, friends. Therefore allowance should be made for the pressure loss when deciding upon the initial distribution pressure. Having determined the working pressure, the following factors have to be considered in the design of a good steam distribution system. So they may also ask you in the exam, what are the uh, things you should understand or remember while designing a good steam distribution system. First thing is the general layout, pipe sizing and designing also is a key point, pressure reducing and de-superheating station, air venting, steam pipe installation. So these are 5 points that you should know, and this is important while designing our good steam distribution system, friends. So you must understand these 5 points, remember it, and they may ask you in the exam also. For example point of view, this particular slide is very much important, friends. So as I said in in the last slide, the general layout is very much important. General layout and location of the steam consuming equipment is of great importance in efficient distribution of steam. So the point where the steam is used actually is very much important, and general layout of the entire location of the steam system should be designed in a proper way, friends. Steam pipe should be laid by the shortest possible distance rather than following a building layout or road, etc. So you should understand one thing: the point where the steam is used should be as minimum distance from the point where it is generated. So if you keep the distance of the generation point to the user's point as little as possible, as low as possible, this will help you have better steam distribution, and low pressure drop will be there, and you will see the efficient usage of steam will be taking place, friends. However, this may come in the way of aesthetic design and architect's plan, and compromise may be necessary while laying new pipes. So you need to have properly design the entire system, entire distribution system. So you must understand the general layout of the plant and how you can efficiently use this steam at the user point, friends. Steam piping, pipe sizing and design also important, equally important. How you design the pipes, what size of the pipes is required, that is also very much important. Any modification and alteration in the existing steam piping for supplying higher quality steam at high pressure and quantity must be considered the following points. So you must understand the pipe sizing. The pipe sizing is very much important. The objective of the steam distribution system is to supply steam at the correct pressure to the point of use. So the ultimate goal is to have a correct pressure at the user point. The steam is generated, for example, at a 10 kg per centimeter square, and it's required to have around 7 something or 6, you can say, kg per centimeter square is required at the user end. So it should be kept in mind that you have to have 6 kg per centimeter square or 7 kg per centimeter square as required at the user point. That should be made, friends. There should not be pressure drop. So pressure, maintaining pressure is very much important. For that reason, pipe sizing also is equally important. And this is proper sizing of steam pipelines help in minimizing pressure drop. So if you have better pipe sizing, proper pipe sizing, then you can expect to have minimum pressure drop. So ultimate goal is to have a pressure what is required at the user end, that should be maintained, that should be met, friends. And if you're not able to meet it, there is some gap in the designing of the pipe. So pipe sizing of steam pipelines help in minimizing the pressure drop. The velocities for various types of steam are superheated steam, saturated steam, and wet. These are the velocities of the steam is given here, friends. This is for only your understanding and remembering, friends. So this is a very much important. Again, this important slide is important because you must understand why general layout is important, why steam piping, sizing, and designing is important, friends. So ultimate goal is to meet the pressure required at the user end, friends. So in the exam, friends, they may ask you to solve the numerical this type of with use of this formula. So they may ask you to calculate the pressure drop in the steam pipes, and for that reason, this formula is very much important. Where HF is the head loss to friction, F is the friction factor, L is the length, U is the flow velocity, G is the gravitational constant, D is the pipe diameter. So they will give you all these parameters in figures, numbers they will give you, and they will calculate. They will ask you to calculate the pressure drop. So in that case, you need to understand this formula and the key points you must understand, and also the you to know how to use this formula while calculating the pressure drop in the exam, friends. So when they ask you this pressure drop calculation in the exam for the steam pipes, you must use this formula to solve the numerical, friends, in the exam. So here is a example is given here of pressure drop calculation for your understanding, for your reference, friends. So determine the difference in pressure between 2 points 1 kilometer apart in a 150 millimeter bore horizontal pipe work. The water flow rate is 45 meter cube per hour at 15 degree centigrade, and friction factor for this pipe is taken as 0.005. So they have already given you a lot of parameters here which you need to apply it here. And also if it is not given, something like suppose velocity is not given, in that case you need to calculate it. Like suppose velocity is required here as u, so you need to calculate, it's not given directly, they have given you indirectly the parameters, and you need to calculate the first of velocity here. For that, volumetric flow rate by cross sectional area, what that already they have given you, those things that can be used here to calculate the velocity first. and that velocity can be applied here. And in this formula, same formula which is used, which is, I've showed you in the last slide, HF equals to 4 FLU square by 2 ZD. So you put all these parameters, all these numbers, and then calculate the pressure drop, friends, in the exam. So this is very much important question. This type of question have already been asked number of times in the exam as a short answer type based question, friends, and also part of long answer type question, friends. So you must understand this formula and also remember this formula, and also use, you should know how to use this formula, because they may straight away give this for they may ask you to calculate this type of numerical. They may give you short type of questions. Also they may be used, this formula can be used as a long answer type question, friends, where they will not directly ask you this type of question. They may indirectly they may ask you as a part of other important question, friends, in the long answer type questions. So you must understand this formula and the uses of this formula, friends. So also this example is given here in the in the book itself, that determining the pipe size. So if they ask you to determine the pipe size, so with this formula you can use, and you can calculate the size of the pipe, friends. A process requires 5,000 kg per hour of dry steam at 7 kg per centimeter square for the flow of velocity not to exceed 25 meter per second determine pipe size. This is a question, a simple question. It is given, formula based question is given here, and this can be asked as a short type question, friends, in the exam. So flow velocity is given, specific volume is given, mass flow rate is given, volumetric flow rate is given, and then you are therefore using this formula, cross section area pi d square by 4. You must calculate the size of the pipe, friends. It's a very much important formula for you, friends, to remember in the exam. So as shown in the last slide, friends, of the formula, we are calculating the d square, basically the size of the pipe. So we used all these other parameters, so multiply it and then calculate the d, that is diameter of the pipe, which is the size of the pipe, friends. So you are using the formula that I've showed you in the last slide to calculate this d, or the size of the pipe, friends. So this is the important formula. So two formulas I have showed you here, which are important, equally important for determining the pressure drop, also the size of the pipe, friends. And these two formulas can come in the exam. They have come number of times earlier also, and in coming exam also this type of numericals can come in the exam, friends. So with this I'm ending the part B, friends, and please be connected for the part C, because I'm also going to upload with this part C. I hope this video is helping you to prepare for exam, friends. You must have got the idea, the concept which I have tried to explain you, and the different numericals which are important for you, different questions which are important for you. Those things I have highlighted in this particular video also, and also in other videos that I've made and posted in my channel, Energy and Environment Education, friends. So if you have missed those videos also, please go through the videos. These are really important videos which can help you to prepare for your exam, friends. So please be connected, because I'm also going to upload the part C in coming days, and hopefully that video also will be helpful for you in your exam preparation, friends. And last not the least, please do subscribe my channel, friends. This is Energy and Environment Education channel on YouTube, so you can Google it out. If you have missed this channel, you can go to the channel, friends, and you can watch different videos that I've made on for energy major or energy auditor exam, which is important. And a lot of videos I've made on different chapters, and also have given a lot of tips important for your exam, friends. So you can go through the videos. Also, I'm going to make other videos on different aspects of energy domain, basically on sustainability and other energy policy or important aspects for the energy and environment domain, friends. So please be connected with me, and do watch those videos also when I'm going to upload in coming days, friends. And please do subscribe my channel. This will help me to prepare more such videos in coming days. It will motivate me to prepare videos in coming days. Also, please press the bell icon, friends, so that you get the instant notification as soon as I post a new video. For writing to me any feedback and input, you can comment on the on the YouTube channel also, and also you can separately you can message me or email me your queries and inputs if you have any feedback, if you have about the content or anything as such, friends. So please be connected with me, and we'll meet in the next video which I'm going to upload in coming days, friends. So stay connected and stay safe.